Karl Rove was in Ohio yesterday. Stunning admission. He said, quote, "I wish the war were over. I wish the war never existed. History has given us a challenge here." Huh. Well, if you wish the war had never existed, perhaps you shouldn't have started it in the first place.
Gee whiz.
And it wasn't just like, hey, Karl Rove was one of the guys advising against the war from the beginning. He was the one telling all the Republicans the war is great, let's run on the war. Here, let me give you some quotes. In January of 2002, Rove told conservatives, "Americans trust the Republicans to do a better job of keeping our communities and our families safe. We can also go to the country on this issue because they trust the Republican Party to do a better job of protecting and strengthening America's military might and thereby protecting America." So he begins the argument for the Iraq War there. Then in June of 2002, Rove gives a PowerPoint presentation to candidates advising them to, quote, "focus on the war" in their fall campaigns. Run on the war, focus on the war. Richard Clark later says that Karl Rove was obsessed about running on the war as a campaign issue. August of 2002, Rove is chairing the White House Iraq group. Remember, the WIG, these are the guys who manufactured all the evidence to start this war in the first place. Yep. And the mission was to, quote, "develop a strategy for publicizing the White House's assertions that Saddam Hussein posed a threat to the United States." If you didn't want the war, Karl Rove, why did you start it? And here he is in September of 2002. As Time reported, when friends asked whether Bush planned to invade Iraq, Rove was known to reply, quote, "let me put it this way, if you want to see Baghdad, you better visit soon."
Whoa!
So that's September of 2002. We invaded in March of 2003, almost 6 months later. He knew the invasion was coming. Yeah. They were planning the invasion.
PNAC was planning this for a long time.
They were publicizing the invasion. They were selling the war. They were manufacturing the evidence for the war. And now he's got buyer's remorse. So he goes to Ohio and says, "I wish the war were over. I wish the war never existed." Well, then perhaps you should have thought of that in January and through September of 2002 when you were so busy selling it so you could run your political campaigns based on it.
Okay, and everybody's saying that they still believe in the war. Okay, your hero Rove just bailed on it, okay?
Yeah.
So now the rest of the 30% that are hanging in there, you got to wonder, don't you like being followers? Don't you follow the larger group? Get with the larger group.